Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to SD Best Friends. SD, who knows what that means? I don't know. Schmoedown, it could be. We're all from the Schmoedown, so maybe it's that. It could be San Diego Best Friends. I like San Diego. That's a nice place. South Dakota, maybe not there. But who knows? Sugar Daddy Best Friends? I don't know. Give me your ideas as to what SD means. But anyways, we always have some great guests on this show. And this week is Dynamite. We have one of my favorite human beings, host of the Smile File on Instagram. That's Grae Drake.
Yes!
Welcome, Grae.
Oh my God. Because the only thing I care about is both movie trivia and then memes that make me laugh in these troubled times.
and wigs. Very important.
Thank you. Yes, important. Because my own hair is growing out just like everyone else's.
Mm-hmm.
But who wants to risk their lives to get a haircut?
No one does. That's why I'm wearing this hat, because I'm like, we don't need to see what's going on under here.
I feel you, girl.
Also joining the stream this evening, you probably saw her this afternoon or earlier this week in her Schmoedown match against Eric Zipper, and that is Stacy Howard. Hello, Stacy. I see that you are drinking some wine. Thank you for being on the show.
Hello. Thank you. Thank you for having me. I'm seeing some hashtag forks for Stacy in the chats, an inside joke with my girl Roxy. I only have one fork. That is not a joke. And I will never get more. And, no further explanation needed, in my opinion.
All right. We might discuss this a little bit later.
Maybe.
But also joining us on the show, you probably don't know this person, but they are very involved in the Schmoedown. And that is Megan. She is amazing. She keeps everything running. Hello, Megan. How are you doing?
Hi, guys. I'm doing great. How are you? I'm actually really nervous.
You're nervous? Okay.
Yeah,
is this your first live stream?
Oh, yeah.
No. Okay.
Yeah.
So welcome, Megan. We're very excited you're here. Don't be nervous. Also, someone that will help you not be nervous is a favorite in the Schmoedown. You see her every week and you love her every week. And that is Jenn Sterger. Hello.
Hello.
You made it.
Oh my God. That was so stressful. I've been on for the fact that I'm not working much right now, I feel so stressed out about not working, but working that all stuff that I'm just overscheduling myself on, to be honest.
I feel you. I do.
So thanks so much for having me, guys. I am really pumped to have some estrogen in this house.
That's right. Last week, lots of D's on the dance floor last week.
I had no idea Brienne was throwing a sausage party. For real. I was just like, what is happening now?
Just happened. I may have spoken twice the whole time.
Nobody ever expects a sausage party. It's like the Spanish Inquisition, right?
And my house has two less meatballs now because the dog got neutered today. So yeah, he's sporting them out. He's sporting the cone of shame as we speak.
Poor
Aren't
Kevin.
we all at this point? Aren't we all?
I'm wearing the bandana of shame.
Not of shame. It's so cute.
It makes me think of Lucille Ball, and I love it.
It's very Rosie the Riveter.
Yes, Rosie the Riveter.
I love
That's what I'm going for.
I love how someone already pointed out in the comments. They were like, "Is Jen going to be working out again?" That's all I do.
Last week, I gave Jen the link to join the stream, so it'd be more women, less men, and she was working out.
I was in the middle of pumping iron in my living room with bands and stuff. It was quite embarrassing. No makeup, absolute disaster, but just felt like I needed to chime in.
It was a good time.
You needed support, Brienne, is what it came down to.
I did.
You know what?
I needed a life raft.
I should get on my climber. Ryan, we have all these 80s exercise equipment that Ryan can find on OfferUp. No joke. We have a Tunturi bike and this climber thing. It's pretty intense. So I could hop on there.
Only if you do it in 1980s jazzercise attire.
Do you mean this? You mean
We do mean that.
I was ready.
Yeah,
perfect.
That's imperative. You can't have one without the other. So nicely done.
You can't. Thank you. Always ready.
Let's discuss your match this week, Stacy.
Sure.
I'll put up that banner so people know what we're talking about. Stacy had a match this week. It aired today for those that watch it on YouTube, and it aired earlier in the week for those that have the Schmoedown Patreon. And so, yes, if you have not seen the match, we're going to definitely talk spoilers. So you'll want to come back. I'll take the banner off when we're done talking about it so you know that we're finished, because I don't want to spoil it for you right now. But this was my favorite match of the year, and I'm glad I got to be there for it. And Grae, today was the first time that you watched it. Is that correct?
Indeed, it was. So I turned it on. My husband and I were watching, and we just were screaming at the television. Like, I'm sure that our neighbors on both sides were like, "Oh my God, what's wrong with them?"
They're like, the quarantine finally happened. It finally made it happen. It's ruined their-
Exactly. Like, now is the moment they're going to get a divorce, especially because you are absolutely the queen of guesses. Cannot believe
They're
the polls
educated
there.
guesses. They're educated polls. Like,
This is true.
She is the queen of context clues, not
Context
guesses.
clues.
Yes. I mean, the Anthony Hopkins, I was like,
The thing with, honestly, like, I remember that senior year of high school. So it had to have been 2008. We were reading Beowulf, and the movie was about to come out. So I watched the trailer. So I must have seen him in the trailer, but this was like 12 years ago. Never saw the movie, never watched the trailer again, never looked anything up about the movie. Why would I? It looks awful. Some kind of CGI gobbledygook with, like, they got the abs and the peens and Angelina Jolie mommy boobs or something. But yeah, it's that deep pull where you're like, I think, hold on, it might be this, and you just throw it out there. That's the phrase. That is my catchphrase, Schmoedown. I'm just gonna throw this out there and see what comes back, because who knows? Who knows? And damn it, got it.
Here's the thing, for everybody listening. If anybody's like ever dealing with, literature and tests, the answer, if you've been learning Beowulf, is always Grendel's mother every single time. That movie was awful, and I didn't know the answer either. I just thought, Academy Award winner? Do you think it's Anthony Hopkins? And my husband was like, ooh, I don't know. I don't even remember. And then when you said it, we both like exploded in our house.
Everyone on set. Megan, you were there on set, right?
Grae, would you have had the chutzpah to say that answer sitting out there? Or do you think you would have said, I don't know?
I don't think I would have known it if I had been on the stage.
You think that the pressure of the moment might have, like, prevented you from even having that pull?
Yep, unless I had had 1 or 2 shots of alcohol.
I was just going to say,
then the walls come down.
No, but this
my
is
favorite poll that you gave out, Grae, was Jeff Goldblum for Cats and Dogs, that match that won the match. I don't know who you guys were playing. This was you and Matt Atchity, as you had changed the name. It used to be Rotten Tomatoes, and then it was MODOK. So you were MODOK at the time. I don't know who you were playing, but Cats and Dogs winning the match, Jeff Goldblum.
And as I explained, I think in the match, I had just seen it randomly on a hotel television and looked into it and was like, what in the hell is this? And I did a weirdly deep dive on it, and I couldn't believe it came up. And actually, Stacy, your moment totally reminded me of that for myself, because I was like, what an amazing feeling that must have been. And when you like leapt out of your seat, I was like, I feel you.
Couldn't believe it. I was like, there's a very small % chance that this is right, but it's the best guess I have. So I got to just put it out there. And I was ready to lose. I was ready to, like, Anthony Hopkins, and just go, but then when the whole room erupted, and the room erupted before they were like, that's the right answer, 2 points to Stacy or whatever. So I knew by everyone else's like sucked in air reaction, I was like, oh shit, I got it. Okay.
The first person who reacted, it was Mark and Draco. You can hear him in the video too. Who was like,
he's always the first person to react. Every time he's so shocked that I know what he thinks. He goes like this. He does his gay gasp in the back.
Oh my!
No, but you're right. The crowd just freaked out. Like you don't get very many moments like that during the live tapings. Normally they go pretty normally, but the whole room felt that answer when you answered it.
Megan,
you could feel the tension.
Were you with us when Guy faced Merle?
No, it was before my time.
Very similar energy, but like at the end, we were all ecstatic and not like, holy shit, our entire season just got like,
For sure. Well, that moment and this moment too, like you and Eric were just going at it. Like it was a battle for that win. You know what I mean? So when you pulled it and then he didn't get his 5-pointer, it was just the most crushing. Like it was such a high when you got it and such a low when he didn't. So.
I say that miss of the zippers was so brutal. That was one of the hardest questions. I had no idea what the answer was. And Steve on the couch next to me, he goes, we went through the whole run. He's like, Fisher King. And I was like, no, that's too early. 84 is too early. And I was like, it's not good. It's not Good Morning Vietnam. And then he goes, Moscow on the Hudson. And I was like, who are you right now? And
and then you guys made love because you were so turned on to his knowledge.
But I think everyone's been waiting for Stacy to kind of come into her own on this one. She said it best. Like if she studied, like if that's what she's able to do, because even if she didn't study the right movies, what if she studied movies on the peripheral that helped her make those context clue guesses that she always does? And it's like, I feel like with that, like, girl, you got to be a nightmare for some people.
Yeah. The thing with studying, though, is
it sucks your soul. Yeah.
It sucks your soul. And also, it's like you could study so many films and then they're never going to be asked about in the Schmoedown. Like Inner Geekdom, you've got a set, of movies that you need to go by and what you need to study. And you know what you need to study. But it's anyone's guess in the Schmoedown what could be brought up. Like I watched this. Ryan he loves older films. He has a bunch of laser discs, which, as you can see, is a huge collection right down there.
Laser discs.
Laser discs. And he has like 4 players with like different settings, and it's super nerdy. But he always has us watch these older movies like Defending Your Life. Is this
love it.
Albert Brooks? I'm like, what is this? Like, what's this random Meryl Streep thing? So things like that where I'm like, I could use this in the Schmoedown maybe, but like I would never seek that out and watch it or read something on IMDb. No thanks. I would rather look up, clay masks on Amazon and what's on sale. Like I'm obsessed with skincare. That's where my energy
was a movie.
is.
Clay masks on Amazon.
Oh yeah.
I was like, what is this film?
No, I mean like literally like I'm obsessed with like skincare and masks on Amazon. There's so many different versions. So yeah.
I just want to point out in the chat that Adam brought up the most amazing quote that Zipper yelled. Like he's like, I only know what I know, but Stacy knows what she doesn't know.
Yeah.
And it
Story
was
of my life.
Yeah. In that moment, it was like, whoa, man, that was deep.
It's better than Zipper's other thing when he told me he was taking a bird scooter home. And I was like, please don't. We've had bad luck here with that.
Oh,
and
yeah.
No one got the joke.
And
that was a slow burn joke.
It was a slow burn. Half the audience gasped, and then half of them were like laughing but couldn't catch their breath. And I was like, it's a slow burn, guys. You'll get it. Oh, welcome to the show.
So this is something I do want to go over that Dean Morgan put up. What about that challenge by Roxy? So there's some people say controversy over the challenge, saying like, well, you should have lost a JTE. And my thought is the challenge was that you couldn't hear the countdown. And if you watch the match, you can tell that that's hard to hear. Like it's clear that it's hard to hear.
It was like fine.
So that challenge isn't I was going to use a JTE. The
Russian.
challenge was I couldn't hear the countdown. And once you start to hear the countdown, knowing from being up there, your brain kicks into like overdrive. And sometimes you're able to get it before you get to 1 just by hearing you only have 5 seconds left. And so my point is it's not necessarily that you should lose a JTE because of it, because you wouldn't have known if you would have needed that had you heard the countdown. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I was going to use a JTE rule on that anyway.
Well, then never mind. That blows it out.
I should have had the opportunity to know that the countdown was about to get to 0. So then I could say, repeat the question. But I didn't hear anything. So I didn't know that I was out of time. You know, so even if I hadn't wanted to use one, you still have to hear it to know that you're running out of time.
Yes,
because
correct.
I don't know the count that's going on. I don't know how many seconds. You're just trying to think of the question. You don't have a timer in front of you. You don't see anything. You literally can just hear someone saying 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Yeah.
You have no visuals as to what's happening in front of you.
So do you think you should have lost a JTE is the question?
No,
you get a new question, maybe because you had to get a new question, because that's not fair either, right? Because like you would have had time on this question to answer it.
I mean, the thing, like, I could have not known the next question that came up.
Right.
You know, it just happens to be it's something I know. It's a game of chance. So I couldn't hear it. You know, the ruling was that I got another question. So we have to go with that. You know, I'm really not going to argue about whether it was wrong or right. In the end, I still won. And I don't know if anyone's calculated it, but like, I don't know if that made me win, just the fact that I got another question, or if I won by enough. I don't care. Whatever.
No,
I don't study and I don't care about the points, and it's BS.
The amount of outrage that goes into the rulings on
I know.
challenges
what is it called? The Monday quarterbacks?
Monday morning quarterback.
Exactly.
Monday
Well,
quarterbacks.
it's not even that. The amount of just controversy that comes out in the comment section blows my mind, because it's just like, at the end of the day, even all the rules we have in place, and there are a lot of them, guys, we cannot account for every single scenario that pops up. We just can't. And then some of them, it's like, if you so clearly understood, like the Elba thing, if you so clearly know what the person's saying, and one of the rules we had in place was, if there's no other actor named that, then it's fine. You know what I mean? But it reminds me of the fact that in real sports, you have human error with judges. And you have human error with referees. And people just need to get over it, that not every single challenge is going to end up the right way. Do you know how many times I'm sitting at home watching a baseball game or a football game, and a challenge is clearly wrong, and I'm just like, is Stevie Wonder running the booth in New York? Like, what is happening? You know, like, but that happens. It just happens because human error is just, you can't replace it.
Well, in these live tapings too, it's just going. Like, we really don't have time to stop and mull it over. Like, the call has to be made.
We don't.
Move
I just
forward.
see Megan's face every time we stop down. She's like,
This is live, people. This is live.
We're losing valuable time here. I literally have been sitting in the booth, and they were taking so much time figuring it out that I ran out, and I was like, stop. This is the answer. We're done here. And Christian was like, okay.
Listen, I've had it go the other way, where I said the answer to a question was the Farley brothers, but really it's pronounced Farley, not Farley. But I'm like, you know what I mean? Like, I've had it go against me as well as go for me. So at the end of the day, like, it's a good match. It was exciting. I won. I'm the queen. So, you know, like, we can sit here and, you know, get our panties in the water. We can have a Tate's cookie and shut up about it. So
the queen has spoken.
Also, Eric gave us a super chat, says, no one forget that Grae was dedicated enough to dress as Xena for a match and smear ketchup all over herself as fake blood. That's character dedication. Did you have a baby too with the, I can't remember. No, one time you had a baby.
I don't know. Riley, I gave Riley his own head in a box once.
Oh, wow.
My thing with my favorite thing about the Schmoedown, aside from this unbelievable community that is, I mean, when you think about just the beginnings of Schmoes and what it's become now, it always blows my mind. It's amazing. Other than the amazing fans, my favorite thing is theatrics. And I thank you to everybody that's been bringing them up in the comment section, because that is by far the best part of preparing for a match, is figuring out what ridiculous stuff I'm going to do. And Matt was such a great teammate for me, because he has like a love of that stuff too. And he's really easily convinced. So we always would just like brainstorm the most ridiculous things. And so those early days of like Xena, and like, you guys don't even know how hard I made Ken search for ketchup packets. I was like, oh my God, Ken, I can't find them. I need ketchup. Will you get me ketchup? And by God, when I got there, he handed me like 5 packets and he was like, here you go, Grae. I was like, oh, Ken.
Grae
my favorite part.
Crawled so that Video Drew could soar. Like, that is just the truth.
Was I chewing on a baby leg?
I feel like I was like, I remember a baby with the Xena. I swear it. Maybe it was a different match.
I mean, we dressed up as sharks one time. I feel like that might be when I was chewing on a limb, but it's like anything like that. I just love it. I don't think it actually psychs anybody out, because if you know me, you know that I'm just a total idiot. But it sure is fun. Like, why else am I doing this whole career of mine but
we
to be an
ourselves
ass?
That every single day.
I know. Listen, it's not a secret to me. I'm take another drink.
I will say it's these costumes have also brought a little extra money into my life lately, because I recently sold off 2 blow-up adult-sized dinosaur costumes for $65 on OfferUp.
Live event. I forgot about that.
Yeah, that was at the live event, and I was dressed as Laura Dern, and then I met Laura Dern at Malton Fest, and she was amazing. And I showed her. I had that photo on the ready. I was like, "Oh, it's you." She was like, "Oh my God, you're so nice." But I was like, what else am I going to do with these dinosaur costumes? And also, they can be used as hazmat suits. They are full protection gear.
Yeah, go grocery shopping in those.
Exactly.
Yeah,
yes. They do that.
Yes.
Do
No.
I
sold them to a nice mom who really needed it for her kids who were driving her crazy, she said. So I met her in front of the Staples Center. She Venmoed Ryan, actually, who then gave me the money. And there was like kids in front of the Staples Center, like on their cars taking pictures, like, yo, look, Staples Centers is empty, like Instagram queens. I was like, what are you idiots doing? And then I did my own version. But you know. Yeah,
it's probably a little bit of a jarring sight to see Staples Center with no cars.
It's crazy. Yeah.
So,
yeah, we were just out last night looking at like the Grauman's Chinese and the Sunset Strip, which would have normally been really active on a Thursday night, but we had our windows up and cruising around, and it was weird. It's what I assume the world looks like at 4 a.m, but I'm never awake.
Right.
Wait, you were there? Oh wait, no. I'm like, you're there at 4 a.m? No,
that's pretty accurate, to be honest. That is. I remember it from my bartending days. It's very surreal. There were times when I would walk out of bars that I worked at, and there was no one on the streets except for homeless people, and you're like, are they the fast zombies or slow zombies? Like, it was scary. It really was, because you're literally there and you're the only person on the street, you know.
Thank you, Jake Yakavetta, who says, thank you for starting the show, Brienne. It's made Friday night so much easier to tolerate during this time. Love you, all of you all.
Cheers to Jake.
Jake is the man.
Last night, so my kids have been watching the Back to the Future trilogy. And last night I said, let's take them to the Sepulveda Tunnel to see where they filmed Back to the Future 2.
That's cool.
So we leave our house and we go along the coast because of the bioluminescence. And so many people, like cars for days, traffic stopped, people walking across the street. I was like, oh my gosh, this is like, we got to get out of here. But I did get to see the bioluminescence from my car, like driving. But there had to have been thousands of people and totally just parking in no parking zones, breaking the law, like, thousands on the beach. But man, it was crazy to see like blue waves. I will say that. But we got to the Sepulveda tunnel and my kids sang the theme song or, hummed it, whatever. And then and that was fun. They really enjoyed that. And we talked about all the other locations and we'll probably go by Doc Brown's house tomorrow in Pasadena. So we got
that's
all
where
that.
I used to live. Hey, Pasadena.
Oh, really? That's in Pasadena?
Mm-hmm.
I love that you're giving your kids a film class while they're on break.
That's right.
Totally.
It's very important. We just had, if you go on to Mark Ellis's Instagram, he posted a door-to-door Schmoedown where he comes to the front of our house and asks my kids questions about Back to the Future. So you can see how they do.
Oh my God, that's amazing. We should have had them compete against Cody's dad.
Is he really good?
Oh no, we just made him watch Back to the Future and got him absolutely wasted. We did like a drunk movie review with him.
Nice.
It didn't go. It didn't go. Who's like, who's this Michael J. Fox? Yeah.
So it's like drunk history lesson, only with Cody's dad. Is that what it is? And movies?
I'll put it this way. Cody's editing made Jay look sober in comparison to what they were actually dealing with.
Wow,
interesting.
That's some editing skills right there.
We have Wiley Henry that says, what are your favorite entrances? Love you guys.
Ooh, that's a good
I liked
question.
when you guys were nuns, Grae. That was fun.
Do you know that's the only time I've been sexually harassed by an Uber driver?
What? I didn't know that. But
I
what?
was dressed like a nun. Yeah, I got in the car. I'll never forget. I got in the car and he goes, "Hey, where are you going?" And I was like, you have my address in the app, but church?" It went downhill from there. I loved that entrance. That was a really fun one. But I'll tell you, I think that it was the Shire Wolves when all the ladies got together in force.
Yes.
That was cool.
And you were Drinkerbell.
That's right. Drinkerbell made an appearance. She's a feisty one. I love the energy of that match. I love the Shire Wolves. I just love it when we all have a chance to get together and like celebrate each other. It's awesome.
Right. That's the best part when we can all get together and just be silly.
God, as far as best entrances, I mean, there's so many. I feel like you and Brienne and Stacy were so fun in all their entrances. And they were always so fun to see what they were going to come up with because they were so committed to it. And then when Brienne tried to do the same thing with McWeedy, he was like, hard pass. But like she tried.
I got him to put like fake blood on his shirt and come out as Wolverine.
You dragged him kicking and screaming through entrances. Like it looked like my dad at Disneyland. Like that. But it was those were fun. I always come back to the first time I saw Team Action in action.
Oh yes.
And that's when they played against
Late to the Party.
Oh, and they literally carried out a couch, sat down on it, crossed their legs and go, "We're reacting." So I was like, I don't know who these people are, but I love them and hate them at the same time.
No, that's them.
I always go to our Clockwork Orange entrance because we made poor Jay run around Hollywood trying to find white pants in his size, and it was a challenge. And he told us that it was a challenge every second.
And suspenders.
He
was such a good sport.
He put on fake eyelashes for you guys.
He did. He really did.
But I think the craziest part, have you looked back at that picture of Jay in the Clockwork Orange outfit?
Yeah, his transformation now.
Insane. Absolutely insane.
I was
so proud of him.
I'm trying to think. I love anytime the Real Rejects come out together. Those boys have the best time and they're so funny. I think it's the next match that airs.
Yeah, they got a good one. They have a good one.
It is so funny. They really nail it. They always commit and they just have a good time. So those boys, anytime they come out.
Speaking of Real Rejects, I think Greg Alba, when he did the A Star Is Born thing,
oh my God.
Was it like a collision or something? And he did free for all and he peed his pants. It was great. I was like, simple, easy, like classic prop entrance. It was awesome. I loved that.
And John in that one, isn't that where he dressed up as Dan Murrell? Like,
yes,
you know what I mean? Like they're always They kill it every time.
Yeah.
Oh, we can't forget Snyder during that free-for-all.
He was
That
the bear
pop.
Jew. Yes.
Oh,
yeah.
The Snyder pop. When you hear all of this clinking and clanking, and it's him banging on. And I'm just like, what completely inappropriate thing is he going to have written all over his body, or some shirt that he got like that? Like he's worn 12 or 13 times while he's played football in the mud or whatever. It was like it was like used t-shirts with writing on them.
He always comes up with the most original, like,
I was like,
outfits.
But we work with like t-shirt companies, bro. Like, we could have handled this for you. And he's like, no, DIY.
I've never
come out in
seen
like a
him with
Kobe
sleeves.
one. Yeah.
Is a Kobe one? Would you say?
He wrote the 24 Kobe, and it was like this weird custom jersey he was rocking. It was interesting. No sleeves.
No sleeves ever. We see those pale little chicken arms at all times.
Janine just brought up that he missed the Bear Jew question.
That's kind of amazing.
That is amazing.
I remember that now. I remember that.
It's pretty great.
PLD says, happy early birthday to Jake. I'm going to miss SD Best Friends. Love to you all. Aw, thanks, PLD.
Brianne, when's the last episode?
Next week will be the last episode. Yeah, it's a limited series. I had to make some choices. And so I was like, you know what? We'll end this for now, and maybe it'll come back another time, or maybe I'll bring another show back. Who knows?
Brianne always leaves the party before it's over. She's never
I'm the Seinfeld of live streaming, okay? Gotta leave when it's good,
She
right?
would Irish exit this if she wasn't running it.
Oh, that's so great.
Oh, I missed the Irish exit. We can't do it now because we're not at any parties. But I remember once I discovered that, I was like, this is amazing. I'm going to leave and I'm not going to tell anybody. I don't need to say goodbye to 20 people. I can just
It's my favorite move.
Honestly, that's how I was planning on getting out of this stream later. I was going to wait till one of you went on a rant and then just click exit studio. I guess Jen's done tonight. Oh my God.
I always stay like just a little bit too long. Like most of the crowd is left. The host is like trying to go home. And I'm just
like, do you want me to help you clean up?
I'm like, I really missed you. I wanted this one-on-one time. And they're like, please leave my house. It's time for me to go.
What would that be called? Irish exit is leaving without saying anything. Would that be like, I don't know, the Italian overstay?
Yeah, overstaying my welcome for sure.
So my funny Irish exit story is one year we had to have like last minute Halloween costumes for this party. And it was a friend of ours that was having a party that like his house really isn't big enough to have the caliber of parties that he throws there because there's always way too many people in a small space. But anyways, so we went to this party. We needed last minute costumes. So Cody borrowed a costume from one of the guys that does Tournament of Nerds all the time, Roger. Roger had gone as Vigo one day. And so it's just this giant poster that you have like a cutout for your face
like
where
an art
Vigo.
Piece.
Yeah, but your face is where Vigo's face would be. And so we were trying to leave this party and I was like, all right, we put our he's like, how the fuck am I going to Irish exit in this costume? But I was like, I don't know. But I was standing next to Jay Washington. I'm like, if you can get from here to the door with no one being like, where are you going, Cody? I'm like, you win the evening. And
Didn't
so I watched
video this.
Yes, I think I sent it to you. It's like Cody's like with this giant poster board in a sea of people, like trying not to be like, excuse me, bye guys, I'm sorry. You know, like it was pretty hysterical. Oh.
I have new movie Fanobi who says Friday nights with Brianne and the best adult timeouts around. Thanks for all that you do. This panel is filled with great trivia and cosplay.
Agreed.
Woo!
Agreed. Thank you.
Someone mentioned, are you wearing the same shirt, Stacy, that you were wearing during your match?
Yes. Listen, you know what? It's not the time to do laundry, guys. People are dying. I'm not going to go down the street and put some coins in a machine. I have what I have.
You don't have a laundry machine.
I know what I know. Okay. I'm not studying or doing laundry.
Yeah, good for you, girl.
You tell them, girl.
I'm so sorry you don't have in-house laundry. I'm so
I really don't. And
I'm sorry.
I'm Stacy right now.
King Sport Cal says Grae is the best. I love her. Aww.
Oh yeah,
she is the best.
Thank you. I'm excited to be here. I don't get a chance often to talk about Schmoedown stuff, and I'm always so pumped to. It's like really insane. I just love the madness of it.
You're in the Finstock exchange, right?
Yeah, you're damn right.
What's that like? Like, how do you handle that?
It's so funny because I handle it the same way that I handle everything, which is to be blissfully unaware of everything. So I have lived.
That's Tom's motto in life.
Right. And that is why I'm a perfect member of the team, because I have for years not known what his deal is.
Like all of us.
Right. Yeah. And I'm always like, wait, what is he doing now? What is this? Why is he doing that? And
we'll never know.
We'll never know. No, and that's the best part. He continues to be one of the most interesting parts of the Schmoedown through all these years. He's like Madonna. He like reinvents himself.
If he shows up in the chat, I'll send him a link. He can come join us on this stream for a minute.
Oh my God. I love it so much. Well, and when I was drafted, I think in like the 9th round. And when I got the news, and then I walked into the Critics' Choice Awards, and Dan Merle walks right up to me and he's like, Grae. And I'm like, teammate Dan. It was great because we sort of like, because it was the Critics' Choice Awards and there are all these fancy people there that have been nominated for awards. We're like, take a walk, Tom Hanks. We're hugging here with Stock Exchange.
We're having a real moment.
Yeah, it's great. And so it's, this whole thing has kind of thrown us off a little bit. There is sort of, there are things that we've been talking about that involve me that I'm very excited about, and it'll all take time to come to fruition, I think. And I'm super pumped. Until then, I'm going to keep drinking.
Keep drinking. Movie Fanobi says, I echo that sentiment that Grae is awesome. Stacy, hell of a match. Brienne could always bring back limited edition film therapy? Question mark. So, I mean, that's something I've thought about. It's something I've thought about, but I've also been thinking about writing a film therapy book.
Oh my gosh.
So
that's awesome.
That's something that I'm really interested in. And
someone brought up Andrew Guy's film therapy today, and they're like, they said that it resonated with them so much because he's like, if our lives were any more similar, I'd swear you could sue me for copyright infringement. But I was just like, oh, that's right. I remember when I watched Guys, I was genuinely like teared up. I was like, wow. I'm like, you have no idea sometimes what strikes with people.
Right.
So I need to go back through my plan is to go back through all of my episodes and like transcribe them. And then from there, I want to get new people. Like I've never had Grae on film therapy. So I want to get like her film therapy stories that I could add to this, like things like that. So there's definitely thought it's something that I continue to think about. So it's not forever gone. It's just, I don't know.
Sometimes you just need to take a break, I get it. I get
it. Certainly when we come out on the other side of this, I think the best case scenario is that, people are healthy and they sort of have a vision of what new thing or what thing they want to contribute and put out there. It'll come to you when the time is right, and they can't force stuff like that.
Don't force it. And don't make things that are like your hobby, like that's like your quiet, like your happy place. Like I feel like a lot of creatives struggle with that, where they'll try to make that their new thing that they're like going to make their living. And it's just like, well, then you just stole your joy for what, just like that was your thing, like that was your thing that you could go to without having to be on. Like that's something that I always am like, oh, come on, like save that part for yourself. You're doing so many other things. And like, I feel like in LA, everyone tends to get shiny ball syndrome, where they see one person have success with something and they're like, oh, I should do that too.
Oh, yeah.
Everyone just needs to do what Grae said, and that is just like find that thing and like just channel all your energy into that thing, you know, and make it the best you can.
Movie Fanobi says, never overlook Jen's post game with cosplayers.
Yes. Round of applause.
I mean,
post game with everything is great.
I think my favorite thing is Jen's, like, when you stare me like deep in the eyes after a match and clearly are like, what is going on with you? It's like you silently convey to me, like, Grae Drake, what's your deal? I look forward to it every match.
I've never felt that way with you, though. I haven't. Not like I do with others, where it's like Tom, I just, every time I put the microphone in front of his face, I go, and just pray. I silently pray.
Yeah, you like, ooh, yeah, I get it.
There were always certain personalities like that where I'm like, well, this is either going to be gold or absolute disaster. Oh,
you never know. You never know what's coming down. PLD says Meg might be the most underrated SD team member. She keeps the live events in line. Salute from the Action Army. That's right. She does.
Wow.
You should see her on the sidelines in the actual studio where she's telling people to be quiet. It's amazing. I love it.
And there's a dog.
And there's Kevin. That's Kevin.
What a shame.
I love it.
Megan, how did you become involved in the Schmoedown? I know you from the live events, so it just kind of transferred over from there.
I got distracted by my meal. No, I actually used to work for a touring company, and we pitched having Mark and Christian go on the road. And from there, Christian was really passionate about getting the movie Trivia Schmoedown and making it a live event. So we did all of those shows at the El Portal. I was the tour manager for that. And we just had this really awesome connection. And I really loved working with you guys. And I didn't really know what the hell was going on, and the dinosaur costumes and the 5 horsemen coming out. And I had the smoke machine. And it was just this amazing world to come into. And I was used to dealing with like teenage YouTubers on the road everywhere. So it was really refreshing to have a community and people that were really passionate about something that was like meaningful. And from there, I just kind of stuck around, and now I help out with all the live events and the studio tapings. And when Jen was talking about like that escape and that energy, like that's what I love about the Schmoedown. So like being on camera is terrifying to me, but like my favorite thing coming out of it is like going to an event, making the fans happy, kicking ass at a taping and like getting it done on time. Like those are the things that I count as the wins from the Schmoedown.
So you had YouTubers that toured with your group. So like Poppy, like those kind of YouTubers.
Poppy, if you know Trisha Paytas, I was her tour manager.
Oh my God.
We'll
talk to you about that on a completely separate Zoom call later, because I have so many questions.
I have every answer for you about Trisha. And any kind of like teenage, if you were like a 13-year-old girl, I toured your favorite stars for like over 2 years. So it was a great time, but I was really glad to be around normal people and like have
you think we're normal. That's so cute.
You guys are normal. Isn't that a trip?
You're like, oh my God, I'm so glad
says,
to be around normal people. And then you met Tom, and you're like, I tried.
Tom is a blessing. Do you know who Trisha is? Tom is easy.
Trisha
Paytas.
We'll look her up later.
That's a whole other combo.
Jake Acavetta says what Paul said. Salute to Meg.
You guys are way too
Salute
nice
to
me.
you, lady.
Oh my God. Jesus. Cheers to you guys.
Trying to figure out if I missed super chats because, okay, here we go. Movie Fanobi says Jen versus Video Drew equals unforgettable, awkward love.
Video Drew's the only person that comes into the post interviews and goes, all right, this is what we're going to do. And I was like, oh, we are we?
And does that work?
Sometimes I have to like dial it back sometimes and be like, calm down. We still have to accomplish some goals here. We still have to accomplish, like, we can advance your story and stuff like that. Like, we have to do my business, and then we could do all of whatever that is.
Column A first, then column B.
Well, Drew will crash any post-game interview, right? Didn't she? What were the two guys from the dungeon? I can't remember their team name. Vinny and Owen. Do you guys remember the end of that match? And she just like was there, leading the charge.
Because she was in the faction, right?
Yeah.
So that's why she was there.
Right.
Yep.
She was there.
I don't remember their team name. It's when there's so many teams.
There are a lot of teams.
So many names.
Yeah, I will say this. It takes a lot of skill.
Support your boys.
To play in character.
Got it.
Yeah, it does.
Like some people just come in and they do their entrance and that's it. They are committed to those characters. Her and Tom didn't break the entire time when they played with each other. Like when they were on the same team. Oof. It's insane.
That's good. That's what we want, right?
Can I make an admission that after a glass of wine, I'm ready to make, and don't tell anybody this and don't tell the chat, but I don't understand, like, okay. I don't understand the difference between like what's a faction, what's a stable, what's a league.
Thing.
Like it's like when people are like, what's the difference between England, Great Britain, and the UK? I'm the same with the Schmoedown. I'm like, I don't get what's going on.
Factions and stables are the same thing, Stacy. They really are.
Why are there two different names?
Who's calling it stable?
No, those are my cookies. Ryan, you just spilled these. Oh my God. Ryan just spilled these cookies.
Factions and stables are the same. The league is the entire thing, like the NFL. That's a thing.
So the Movie Trivia Schmoedown is a league. And a faction or stable, I'm in Roxy's stable. I'm a rock star.
Yes.
Yeah, you are.
Okay. I know what's up.
Do you need a face lesson too, or no?
Schmoedown is Great Britain. No, the Schmoedown's the UK. Oh, fuck. Okay. All right. I kind of get it.
What's our version of Brexit? Like, what would equate to that, you know?
I don't know. The Finstar exchange or whatever? I don't know.
No.
Something happened where there was like a trade, something. I don't know. J.K. Rowling is in there somewhere. Who knows? She has a lot of opinions on Brexit.
She's in the UK.
She's in the UK.
Oh, nope, that's not what I wanted. Captain Roach says, what is everyone's favorite Bond movies? I'm not a Bond person. I don't like
all right. Epics on Apple TV did have all the Bond films for about 2 weeks, and we were watching one a night. They don't have them anymore, but I would say GoldenEye. That's mine. I'm a Pierce Brosnan 90s baby. Mm-hmm.
Gosh, bold. I am an On Her Majesty's Secret Service gal. I love Lazenby so much. And these new ones, like Casino Royale, is just the dopest.
Someone said Skyfall. I'm like,
Skyfall is awesome.
Yeah,
I've only seen the Pierce Brosnan ones.
Really?
Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
I revisited recently, and like Famke Janssen is like a real horny Russian in one of them.
Yeah,
in GoldenEye. Yes, she literally gets turned on by killing. So she'll be like squeezing the life out of some guy with her thighs, and she'll be like Meg Ryan and When Harry Met Sally, like yes, and you're like, there's death going on, lady. It's pretty awesome. Like,
except for her accent, that's not so awesome.
Yeah, not so much. But she was like that. I tweeted a video of this. It's a praying mantis eating the head of one of those murder hornets. It's awesome. But that's her in GoldenEye. That's fun.
Yeah, for sure.
Very accurate. Yes.
I'm scared of those murder hornets. I'm terrified. As if the world is not in dire straits enough, you know?
I think that we've had several earthquakes now that this has started, like this quarantine started. I think we had one right at the beginning, and then we had like another one like a week and a half week ago. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And every time I'm just like, are you kidding me? It's just like anytime we think we're getting back to normal.
I know, right? The world keeps telling us otherwise. The first earthquake that we had, I was real proud of myself because I usually go to bed pretty early, but I stayed up like a big girl, and the earthquake happened right when I sat on the can.
Oh, great.
No.
Yeah, shake it out. Sometimes you gotta shake it out.
Do you know what my first thought was? Just in that split second was, don't poop.
Mhm.
Like, you don't know what's going to happen now. Like, don't do it.
You could be prairie dogging, and then it's like, we gotta go.
Right. And it's like, what if my ceiling caves in? It was horrifying.
Everyone's got to go.
I remember where I was.
Adam is asking in the chat if murder hornets are a real thing. Google it and be afraid. Yes, they're real.
They are scary.
The last big one we had, which was like last July, it was right after 4th of July, I think.
Yeah, it was the day after, I remember.
I was I think I told you this story. I came in, was we taped like later that weekend. I think I was in a store. I was in Bloomingdale's and I was like in the middle of changing, trying things on, and I was butt naked. And I was like, and when the building started shaking, it's a 2-story building. It just felt like this and it wouldn't stop. And I could hear like the dishes and stuff from the 3rd floor, like cracking and falling and stuff. And I just remember sitting there in like, started in a crouch position. And then I was like, I'm just going to lay down in a fetal position. And I'm like, at least this isn't an Old Navy. That's all I thought to myself. It's Bloomingdale's. Like, they've got to have it together, right?
In a classy way, in a classy department store.
They'll hide my body in a classy dressing room. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Butt naked.
They've got a foundation made of pearl and old money, so you'll be safe there.
Oh my God.
Stacy was telling us a story before the show started, and I want her to retell it because Jen was not here during that time about something that happened today. Was it today?
It was today. It was a few hours ago. So I live in Los Feliz, however you freaking pronounce it.
Get that right.
The wrong way. That's how you say
the
it.
wrong way, exactly. And so I actually have a lot of celebrities that live around me, like kind of like up in the hills. And it's like the low key Beverly Hills. Like there's famous people, but it's like the normal famous people. You got like Ryan Johnson lives here. John Hamm, like the good ones.
The good ones.
We love John Hamm.
And so we've got an Albertsons here where every time I go, I spot someone like either medium to A-list level famous. I'm talking Jordan Peele and Chelsea Peretti. I'm talking Fred Armisen, like famous comedians, this and that. Today, I see this guy come in with the most chaotic, frantic energy that I've seen in a while. And I see his eyes and I'm like, that guy has the eyes of Colin Farrell. But he had a mask on. Everyone does. You can't, you can't really see the whole face. And I hear him, I'm looking and I'm like, that guy, he looks like Colin Farrell. His eyes are so similar. That's crazy. And then I hear the Irish Brew being like, do you have boxes of spam anywhere? Like, I need like a big box for charity. And I was like, oh my God, Colin. I didn't say that, but I was about to be like, Colin, you C-word. Because he always says the C-word. But yeah, I spotted Colin Farrell. He was like a sweaty mess in like a tank and a mask and like a little bit balding in the back, but damn it if he wasn't still hot AF. Like I'm still into that. I'm still into like the SWAT Colin Farrell, even like the dad beer belly in, Killing of a Sacred Deer. I'm still here for that Colin Farrell. So I was very excited at that.
Someone says Farrell's a scary dude. Oh
yeah.
No. Not the version that I saw of him. I saw a similar version, like, Stacy. I think I told you this in the text thread. I was like, my version of Colin Farrell that I saw was in a hot yoga class, and he, I guess, didn't bring gym clothes that day. So he was literally doing sweaty 99 or 109 degree hot yoga in his tidy whities.
Oh, geez.
Like you do. Yeah, how did anyone stay in that class, like not fall over, like, oh my God.
Oh no, we all just kept looking at each other like,
holy mother of God.
Where is Colin in the yoga class? Because that says a lot about him too. Like where is he himself? Is he a front row?
Oh, front row.
And he knows what he's doing.
No pants on.
He knows exactly what he's doing.
I'm leading this class.
Like it's like a grown man wearing a diaper, but just filled with sweat. Like you could see everything.
So they were just like the standard kind, not like a boxer brief sort of kind?
No. Like straight up old school tighty whities, the kind that Doug wears, the kind that Quail Man wears over his shorts.
Oh man, I made out with a guy. How he dressed as Quail Man at a fraternity party. I'll never forget that. But yeah, Colin Farrell. How does it? Okay, so like no one stopped him and was like, "Sir, Colin, you cannot wear just underwear in this class."
No, have you ever been to
sell clothing there too?
I've never been.
Don't they sell clothing?
Yeah.
Yeah, but yoga is a safe space.
They're like,
you're
he's
not
here all
allowed
the
to
time. And I'm like, is he usually wearing more clothes?
You guys, this is an important thing to note about hot yoga. Now, for anybody that has never gone, there's always the underwear dude
in the front row.
It's never Colin Farrell.
That's
like,
true.
That one time, like you found a unicorn moment in that class, because the underwear guy is usually the scariest, sweatiest dude that you know does deep breathing exercises on his first date. And
there's always the one guy that's like
and so nobody ever says anything reasonable like, do you have pants?
Ujjayi breath. Are you dying?
Movie Finobi says pants optional works for Colin, hot yoga, and YouTube.
It does.
It Zoom calls too, obviously.
100%.
Stacy, I love that you saw him at Albertsons, though. Like, of all the grocery stores,
like the hottest club in Los Feliz. I swear to God, it's like there's a VIP section, and nobody bothers these celebrities. Nobody I've seen has ever gone up. Like, oh my God, I love your movie, this and that. Like, because I don't. It's
people
just
that are from here don't usually do that. I find probably because they're like, we should leave them alone. Like, this is where they live.
But especially this Albertsons, it's like a special magical place where like all of the famous semi-normal people like converge and it's like a tornado whirl of some kind, like a magnet. It just attracts all these famous people.
But that's the word. Crazy. Those are the semi-normal ones, like the ones who are thirsty and want to get like paparazzi shots outside the grocery store. Like that's Erewhon level, you know what I mean? Like they're going to the bougie places on purpose.
They're going to fucking Whole Foods, okay? True. No, Whole Foods is way too expensive.
I feel so. Albertsons is a grocery store here, by the way, for our Canadian friends. But I do feel like in LA, I think people are slightly more likely to walk up to famous people and just be like, "Oh, hi, Colin. You know, I'm friends with your sister's gardener's brother. Great to see you. We met one time. You probably don't remember." But I think conversely, New York is where people truly don't care at all about famous people. Right. I asked Daniel Craig about that one time, speaking of Bond, and he looked at me like I was crazy. And he was like, "I live in New York. Nobody cares who I am in New York." I was like, okay.
That's funny. I've only seen one famous person at a grocery store, and it was Michael McKean at at Bristol Farms, and we were both at the like meat counter or something, and I was like, I heard his voice, and I was like, ah, and then I just walked away, like backing away. Gotta go. See you later.
Bougie bitch at Bristol Farms.
That is bougie.
I'm never intrigued when I see celebrities out in like public, and I usually don't even like care. I just found that Colin Farrell one was just so absurd that I was like, this isn't like, I'm being punked.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Like, I have to be being punked.
Anybody in the room? Like, was he like trying to engage, or was he like very focused on himself and like his own energy?
Very focused on finding his Ujjayi breath.
Yeah.
Bikram is, by the way, I saw go by in the chat. Bikram is a total creep. He's been accused and probably convicted of sexual.
Did anybody see the documentary on Netflix about it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I have not seen it, but I did take Bikram yoga for like a full year. Like
it's the yoga where everyone screams at you. Every other kind of yoga is so nice, except for Ashtanga.
Well, they would go through weeks of training. Yes, everyone should check out the doc. He is such a pervert, but like people worshipped him. It was so unreal to see.
Guys, Brandon, did you send him the link? Go ahead.
Did I?
Oh man.
He's here.
Oh no. Oh no.
You can't say his name 3 times. He shows up.
I mean, We're about to close it up here, but if he wants to join for a few minutes, let's just do it, right?
I mean, if all we have is 2, I feel like he'll fit in as much as he can. The room of the Schmoedown, ladies and gentlemen.
All right, Tom. Let's. I'm
Will he
getting
do his underwear? Probably.
Yeah. Probably.
Grae's ready to have a word with him.
All right, Tom. I'm sending you this link right now, so you better join us for however long, and please have a shirt on.
I mean,
No,
come on, Brianne.
Fine, just be who you are, Tom. Just be who you are. I won't.
I have no words.
I think he's coming on fake mustache and on top of his real facial hair.
Yeah.
No shirt at all. Full Burt Reynolds pose.
And the room's going to be kind of dark. Like there are multiple lights that he could have on, but he wants to be hidden in the shadows a little bit.
And he'll have the names of a bunch of people written on the wall.
Grae energy equals best energy Schmoedown exhibition. What does that mean?
I don't know. It
What
means
does
I
that
have
mean?
to do something, I guess. I'll be here with cocktails. But seriously, watching the match today it just like infused me with so much energy. I was just really excited. I was excited to watch it, and it was it was like, oh my God, I can't wait until we can all like shoot and be together and not be on Instagram, etc. together.
I know.
Thank you. I honestly miss everyone. I can't wait to give everyone elbow bumps and stand, 6 feet apart and yell, "I miss you. So good to see you." It's going to be a good time. Good thing the desk, like the people are about 6 feet apart. We could still film. It'll be fun.
There's a way to get around it.
Oh yeah, we could do it. We could do it. It would be a challenge, but I mean, I think that everything from this point on will be.
How do
I
you
want
do
everyone to answer with a
teams
mask
matches?
Oh God,
That's what I want to know. Like, how do you do a teams match and confer? Like, do you write down your answer and show it to each other? Like, is that how that works? Or do they have one team go at a time and like send the other team out like during round 2? Like, okay, you can stay in, the other team has to go outside, and I don't know. That's the only way I was like, that's the only way I can.
These are the 3 a.m. thoughts of Christian Harloff, though.
I know he's probably thinking the same thing.
He's already. This is keeping him up at night.
We got to get like those pipe tubes or whatever, and like measure it 6 feet, and like we're attached to the hip, but like we got to stand. We know you can't even get close at all. You just got to measure it. Yeah.
What if that wasn't Tom? What if that was just like a person pretending to be Tom?
It could be. But who knows? And he's like, well, he did say he was going to stop by, but like the stream.
I want to know who that weirdo is. The guy that's like, I'm gonna impersonate the weirdest person on the Schmoedown. Like that's gonna be my dark web name.
I was like, because we know he has his Thomas Dagnino account on YouTube, but we also know that he has his Little Bobby and the Juice account on YouTube. Does he also have a Bobby Gucci account on YouTube? I don't know. There's lots of YouTube accounts of which Tom Dagnino might be in charge of.
But catfishing as him is perfect because you could say anything and no one would know the difference.
That's true. These are good ideas. Yeah. Maybe I should try that sometime.
There's 6 or 7 accounts online. There's so many nicknames: the Gooch, Bobby Gooch, Ben Stock, Tom. I don't know who's real and who's not. To be honest, it's all blending together at this point.
It's a good point.
Very confusing time. Very confusing time in the Schmoedown and in life, I would say.
I just saw Cam Schaff mention that the Barbarian today, and I wanted to send my love.
Yeah,
over to the Barbarian. Yeah, this is such a crazy time, but I mean, it's so cool to be here, and it's cool to talk to everybody. It feels good. Thanks for having me.
It really does.
No.
Thanks for coming on. I feel like it's probably winding down. Tom didn't make it.
Tom didn't make it. Pour some out for Tom, guys.
Cheers.
I have to bounce because I'm on a writing deadline, but I love you guys, and I'm so glad I got to see all your faces. I hope the next time we do this, it's like in person. Like even if it's just here, and Stacy's like, Colin, and I'm like, no. On yoga. I love you guys. Please stay safe.
Bye,
Jen.
Jen.
Bye, Jen. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us this
Also
evening.
appreciate her giving us the heads up that she was leaving and not just Irish exiting and
Yeah, she
peacing out.
definitely did it.
Yeah.
She did it
She gave us
well.
a fair warning.
Where can we find everyone else? Megan, where can we find you, or should we find you, or should we not find you? What do you prefer?
I am private on all my accounts. I'm
Wait a second.
sorry. I don't think anyone would care.
Hold on a second. Oh, you missed it, Jen. How did Jen miss this?
You missed it.
She
ladies.
left already.
Hi, ladies.
How's it going, Tom?
Yeah, that was actually me at the Albertsons. I was there the other day.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah.
You do a spot on Colin Farrell accent impression. Good job to you.
Yeah, we're good friends. We're good
We
friends.
were just closing up the stream, but then you arrived.
Yeah. Well,
so,
yeah, I don't have much time. I mean,
okay, good.
I had a trivia match with Josh McCougar earlier.
How did you win that? Because I know that was happening.
Well,
You did that daily double, and I was like, "Oh, bad move!
Yeah.
32 points when you had 64."
Well, look, I swing for the fences, so
Okay.
things happen. And,
It was a Seinfeld trivia for those on Josh McCouga's channel, Josh Birdie, which he does, I think, on Fridays regularly.
Yeah, it was a tough one. I only lost by a couple of points, but I blew it. I made some bad mistakes, and betting that many points on that kind of question. I jumped the gun, got caught up in the hoopla. But I think people know that, I'm a legit Seinfeld trivia beast. McCougar had a good day, and that's the way it goes.
Can I ask you a few questions? I know that you are dropping some people from your faction currently. What's happening with that? Making room for others? What are you doing?
Right.
Maybe we need to drop some. I mean, Grae's still there. I mean,
Thank God.
We're gonna get her on. We'll get her on eventually. I think ultimately, maybe we will, maybe we won't. I mean, losers stay complacent. Winners make moves, even if you really don't need the move, you make a move just to shake things up a little bit, keep people on their toes. That's kind of where we're living with it. BC is a legendary man. He's Finstock Exchange for life. He'll be a close advisor. He's not going anywhere. I still need him to control the crowds, and when all the fans are ganging up on me in the Albertsons, I need him to help me out, obviously.
And so, are you planning on adding to your faction as well?
I mean, that remains to be seen. That remains to be seen.
So that's a yes. Okay. Thank you.
I mean, hey, maybe. No, that's what's going to happen here.
Because we need a teammate for Grae. Who's that going to be?
Well, Robert Meyer just traded. Oh yeah. Well, we're thinking about that. We'll see how it goes. I mean, she could be a teammate, or she can go straight. We'll see what's up. I don't know. She can go straight in singles. We don't know. But yeah, I mean, look, Robert Meyer Burnett. The guy is obviously clearly acting like a crazy person. He just traded 2 bottles of wine for like a bum's hat.
I just snorted.
Yeah, he's trading everything.
Oh man,
funny.
Good times, Tom. You know what? I don't want to keep everyone.
No. I just wanted to drop in and say what's up and make sure you guys know. Tell everybody to follow my channel, which is gonna.
Yeah. How many different YouTube accounts do you have? Bye, Stacy.
Well done, Stacy.
I don't even know what you're talking about. I just have one. I don't know anything.
I swear you have Thomas Dagnino, you have Lil Bobby in the Juice, you have Bobby Gucci. I'm sure you have Gucci verse somewhere. You have
Eddie,
so many.
The Eddie Gerlach page too.
Okay.
Eddie Gerlach.
That's my old stuff. So we'll figure it out.
We'll just go with 6.
Yeah, we'll see.
I do want to point out that I called that Tom would be in the dark.
Yes, you did.
Yeah, it accentuates my clavicle bones.
Mm.
Oh, yeah, they're really good.
Oh,
they're very symmetrical.
Well, thanks for popping in to say hello.
Ladies. Appreciate it. See you guys. See you guys soon eventually.
Bye, Eddie.
Adios, muchacho.
All right. Bye-bye. Megan, we were at you and you were telling us where to maybe find you or not find you. So.
Here's what I would say. If you're at a live event or at a taping, just come say hi. That's
okay. There you go.
Come say hey.
Grae, where can everyone find you?
I'm all over social under my name. So it's just GraeDrake. And by the way, everybody, I've been checking you out in the comments. We've got names spelled correct across the board.
Yeah.
It is a beautiful gift you've given me. Thank you. I know I'm an a-hole with 2 vowels in my name, but I appreciate your love. It just has been such a huge morale boost. And thank you for all your kind words. I really appreciate it. It means a lot to me.
Aw, I'm so glad that you could be here and join us today.
Brianne, thanks for having us. You're the best.
I hope to see you all soon in
Love
person.
you.
It's very
God.
important to me. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us. And we'll see you next week for the final episode of SD Best Friends, this limited series. And as always, unlike Mean Girls, you can sit with us. See you next week.
Mwah.
Bye.